Evangeline, what we're going to do is a demonstration of EFT, or emotional freedom technique. Now, to do that, what I need to know is there any particular issue that you're dealing with that you find upsetting at this point in time?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I have extreme difficulty confronting my father regarding our relationship.
Is that something that's been going on for a long time?
For a majority of my life.
Okay. Do you, is there any particular reason that you're afraid of confronting him? How does he react?
It's because he's my father, for one,
Mm-hmm.
and an authoritative figure, and
Right.
you don't challenge that.
Very understandable. If you access the idea that you would confront him and tell him how you'd feel, on a scale of 0 to 10, how disturbing is that, with 10 being the greatest?
Probably a 9.
So what we're going to do first is make sure that there's no paradoxical reversal. And with EFT, you don't check for that. You just assume that it might be there, and you're going to take care of it anyway. So if you will go to lung 1, right on the chest, there it is. It's usually a sore spot, and what I'm going to ask you to do is to twirl that hand in a clockwise manner. Go ahead and say, I deeply and profoundly
I deeply and profoundly
love and accept myself,
love and accept myself,
even though I'm afraid of confronting Dad.
even though I'm afraid of confronting Dad.
And if you could say that 2 more times.
I deeply and profoundly
Love
and accept myself, even though I'm afraid to confront my dad.
Very good. 1 more time.
I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself, even though I'm afraid to confront my dad.
Good. You can go ahead and take a break and take a deep breath. Now, at this point, what I want you to do is to think about confronting him, and you're going to put 2 fingers right between the eyebrow and the nose, so right about here, and tap that about 5 to 7 times, saying, even though I'm afraid.
Even though I'm afraid.
Then right at the side of the eye on the bone, even though I'm afraid.
Even though I'm afraid.
Under the eye on the bone, even though I'm afraid.
Even though I'm afraid.
Above the lip, same thing.
Tap.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm afraid.
Below the lip.
Even though I'm afraid.
Right here on the K27s on the chest, the collarbone. A little bit closer, yeah, right about there. Even though I'm afraid.
Even though I'm afraid.
Then right under the breast at the crease line, even though I'm afraid.
Even though I'm afraid.
Then right at the side underneath the arm, even though I'm afraid.
Even though I'm afraid.
Very good. And then the rest of the points are on the hand. So what you're going to do is take your finger and put it at a 45-degree angle so that you're hitting both the nail and the skin. And even though I'm afraid.
Even though I'm afraid.
The next finger.
Even though I am afraid.
The next.
Even though I am afraid.
This is an optional point, but we do it anyway just so that's easier to remember.
Even though I am afraid. Even though I am afraid.
On the side of the hand or karate point.
Even though I am afraid.
And then right here at the gamut point, which is the fleshy part, yeah, you've got it.
Even though I am afraid.
And take a nice deep breath. And originally your amount of distress was what again?
A 9.
And how about now?
A 2.
Very good. Now, there'd be a temptation to go ahead and stop at this point, but you want to go through the full sandwich no matter what. So the next point, or the next series, is the bridging technique, which is called the 9 gamut series. you're going to be tapping that gamut spot. Go ahead and look straight ahead. Think about confronting your dad. Then close your eyes. Open them up again. Without moving your chin, look down to the left, then down to the right. Look straight up, and what I want you to do is to very slowly, without moving your chin, follow my fingers so that your eyes are moving in a circle. And the opposite way. And really kind of move those eyes so that they're really moving. Try that again. Very good. And continue to tap. And then the other way. Good. And hum. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And hum again. And take a nice deep breath, relax. Access the idea of talking with your dad, confronting him. And where are you on a scale 0 to 10?
0.
Very, very good. Now, if it would have only been a 1, we would have had to start the whole procedure over again, but it's down to a 0. Again, the temptation is to stop, but what we're going to do is go through the tapping procedure one more time to finish the sandwich. So what I'm going to have you do is tap right at the eyebrow point, even though I'm afraid.
Even though I'm afraid.
Side of the eye.
Even though I'm afraid.
And that might go down just a tad right there. Even though I'm afraid.
Even though I am afraid.
Under the eye.
Even though I am afraid.
Above the lip.
Even though I am afraid.
Below the lip.
Even though I am afraid.
The collarbone part on the...
Even though I am afraid.
Then under the breast.
Even though I am afraid.
Under the arm.
Even though I am afraid.
Then the thumb.
Even though I am afraid.
And each of the fingers.
Even though I am afraid. Even though I am afraid. Even though I am afraid. Even though I am afraid.
Side of the hand.
Even though I am afraid.
And the 9 gamut point once again.
Even though I am afraid.
Take a nice deep breath. Again, visualize talking with your dad and confronting him in a 0 to 10.
0.
Very, very good. Thank you very much.